If you're a die-hard Browns fan and love breaking down the game like we do, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you never miss a blitz. Jamari Thrash might just be the name every Cleveland Browns fan will be chanting this fall, and it's not hard to see why. As the Browns head into the 2025 season with a renewed focus on a ground and pound identity, the wide receiver room still feels like it's missing that wow factor. With the departure of Elijah Moore and modest additions like Deontay Johnson and DeAndre Carter, the stage is wide open for a new star to emerge, and it looks like Thrash is ready to grab that spotlight. He didn't make much noise during his rookie campaign, logging just 98 pass snaps and seeing meaningful action in only 3 games. But don't let that limited tape fool you. According to Bleacher Report's Alex Ballantyne, Thrash is the breakout player to watch for the Browns this season. In a league where second chances are rare, Thrash is walking into OTAs with something every young receiver dreams of: opportunity. When Zach Jackson of The Athletic reported that Jamari Thrash was lining up first in the slot during OTAs, the buzz started to build. Even though the Browns are expected to feature more 2 tight end sets and heavy personnel, which typically means fewer wideouts on the field, the slot receiver role remains vital, especially for a player like Thrash who can work underneath and turn short gains into chunk plays. Thrash's emergence comes at a time when the Browns desperately need more clarity and production at the receiver position. Johnson brings veteran savvy and Carter adds speed, but neither seems poised to take over a game. That opens the door wide for a second-year player like Thrash to make his mark. He's not just a filler on the depth chart anymore. He's actively competing for a starting role and making a case to stick as a core piece in this offense. Let's rewind to who Jamari Thrash was coming out of college. Drafted in the 5th round in 2024 from Louisville, he entered the league at 24 years old with a reputation as a savvy route runner with legitimate deep speed. Scouts praised his quickness and hands, but expressed concern about how he'd handle NFL-level physicality. Could he get off press coverage? Could he take hits across the middle and hold on to the ball? Those were the questions circling him last year. Now, heading into his age 25 season, he's more physically mature, more familiar with the speed of the NFL game, and potentially ready to turn those question marks into exclamation points. All signs point toward a player who's grown tremendously since his college days and now just needs the reps to show it. And reps he just might get. With a relatively thin depth chart and minimal competition in the slot, Thrash has a golden path to consistent playing time. Of course, part of this comes down to necessity. The Browns don't have a deep bench of proven receivers, but part of it is also that Thrash has apparently earned his spot with strong showings in practice. He's not someone who's known for contributing on special teams, which makes it even more important that he sticks in the regular offensive rotation. If the Browns are going to keep him on the 53-man roster, it's going to be because he's outplaying other wideouts and proving he can be a reliable target for whoever is under center. Whether it's Deshaun Watson reclaiming form or someone else stepping in, having a steady hand in the slot could be a game changer. What makes this potential breakout so compelling is that it's not just hype, it's logical. Thrash is fast, sure-handed, and now better acclimated to the NFL game. If he can fine-tune his release against press and continue improving his ability to operate in traffic, there's no reason he can't be a legitimate contributor this season. Think about how the league has evolved. Even in run-heavy systems, the ability to keep defenses honest with effective slot play is huge. We've seen players like Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jacoby Myers turn unheralded starts into cornerstone roles. Thrash may not be on their level yet, but the blueprint is there. It's all about seizing the moment and making the most of every opportunity in training camp and preseason. It's also worth noting how Cleveland's offensive scheme might actually help Thrash. With defenses loading the box to stop Nick Chubb and the tight ends drawing attention, there's going to be space in the middle of the field. That's the perfect setup for a shifty, fearless slot receiver. If Thrash can find soft spots in zone coverage and build chemistry with the quarterback, he could feast on high percentage throws and rack up yards after the catch. His college tape is full of examples where he made defenders miss in the open. Field. Translate that to the NFL, and you're looking at a guy who could quietly rack up 50-60 receptions this year if things break right. Another factor working in Thrash's favor is the lack of entrenched hierarchy in the Browns wide receiver room. There's no true alpha dog demanding 10 targets a game. Amari Cooper is gone, Elijah Moore is gone, and the new faces, while solid, aren't exactly pushing Pro Bowl ceilings. That creates a dynamic where the receiver rotation is up for grabs, especially for those who shine during camp and the early part of the season. And when the margin between making a team and being cut is razor thin, momentum is everything. If Thrash continues to take first team reps and performs well in preseason games, it's easy to imagine him becoming a go-to option on third downs and red zone situations. What Browns fans should really appreciate is that Thrash seems hungry. He knows he was a late round pick. He knows he didn't do much last year, but instead of disappearing into the background, he's making noise in OTAs and drawing praise from local media. That tells you something about his mindset. He's not just happy to be in the league. He wants to matter. That's the type of energy that can change a locker room and inspire confidence from a coaching staff. If he keeps stacking good days, builds trust with the quarterback, and keeps flashing that burst we saw at Louisville, he's going to be impossible to ignore. The Browns' offensive identity may be built around the run, but every good team knows balance is key. You need guys who can win in the passing game when the defense dares you to throw. Thrash gives Cleveland a chance to do just that. He's not just depth, he's a potential weapon in the making. And for a fan base always on the lookout for the next great homegrown story, Thrash's rise could be something special. Imagine the roar at Cleveland Browns Stadium when Thrash hauls in a third down conversion or burns a defender down the seam. Those are the kinds of moments that turn role players into fan favorites and possibly long-term starters. So as we count down to kickoff, keep your eyes on Jamari Thrash. He might not be on every national analyst's radar just yet, but if the reports out of Berea are any indication, that's about to change. In a league where the window to prove yourself is narrow and the spotlight unforgiving, Thrash has carved out a lane, and now it's up to him to sprint through it. His story has all the makings of a breakout season, underdog beginnings, a team in need, and the right skill set at just the right time. Don't be surprised if, come December, we're looking back at OTAs as the moment Jamari Thrash started his rise from obscurity to impact. Enjoying the content so far? Smash that like button and drop your take in the comments. We want to hear what you think about the Browns this season. Ladies and gentlemen, brace yourselves because the NFL world is absolutely on fire right now. Rumors are circulating at full speed about what could be one of the biggest trades in the history of the league. That's right, reports are suggesting that the Cleveland Browns are on the verge of pulling off a mega double trade that would bring none other than superstar wide receiver STEFON DIGGS and elite quarterback Josh Allen straight from the Buffalo Bills to the Dawg Pound. I mean, can you even imagine the magnitude of this move? Two of the most electrifying players in the game today, both potentially headed to Cleveland in a blockbuster deal that would shake the entire NFL landscape to its core. Fans across the country are losing their minds, and rightfully so. This would be nothing short of historic. Now let's break this down because there's a lot to unpack here. First off, we're talking about Josh Allen, one of the most physically gifted quarterbacks the league has ever seen. Since being drafted by the Bills, Allen has transformed into an absolute powerhouse, leading Buffalo deep into the playoffs multiple times and establishing himself as a perennial MVP candidate. His rocket arm, combined with his mobility and toughness, have made him a nightmare for defenses and a fan favorite. The idea of Allen leaving Buffalo seems unthinkable, or at least it did until now. But apparently there have been some behind-the-scenes tensions and strategic disagreements within the Bills organization that may have opened the door for this shocking possibility. Then there's STEFON DIGGS, one of the most dynamic and productive wide receivers in the NFL. Since joining the Bills, DIGGS has been Allen's favorite target, putting up monster numbers season after season. But we all know that DIGGS has had some frustrations with the Bills' offensive scheme. And there have been rumors about his dissatisfaction for quite some time now. From sideline outbursts to cryptic social media posts, DIGGS has never been shy about expressing himself. So the thought of him wanting a fresh start somewhere else? It's not entirely out of the question. And pairing him with a new team, alongside His longtime quarterback could be exactly the kind of move that would rejuvenate his career and give him a chance at that elusive Super Bowl ring. As for the Browns, well, this could be the kind of bold, franchise-altering move that catapults them straight into Super Bowl contention. Cleveland already has a strong roster with one of the league's best defenses, anchored by Myles Garrett and a solid offensive core. But let's be honest, the quarterback position has been a major question mark. Deshaun Watson's situation has been, to put it mildly, complicated, and his inconsistent performances have left Browns fans yearning for stability and excellence at the most important position in football. Bringing in Josh Allen would instantly solve that problem and give Cleveland one of the most feared offenses in the league, especially with STEFON DIGGS catching passes. Sources close to the situation are reporting that this potential trade could involve a massive package of draft picks, possibly multiple first-rounders, as well as key players from the Browns' current roster. Names like Denzel Ward, Nick Chubb, and even Amari Cooper have been floated in some circles as potential trade assets that the Browns might need to part with to make this deal happen. It's the kind of all-in gamble that could either make or break a franchise. But with the stakes so high and the potential rewards so great, Cleveland's front office seems willing to roll the dice. After all, opportunities to acquire two superstars like Allen and Diggs at the same time almost never come around. From Buffalo's perspective, this would be a seismic shift, essentially signaling the start of a new era. Losing both Allen and Diggs would be a massive blow to their immediate competitiveness, no doubt about it. But if the Bills' front office believes that the current roster has plateaued and that their championship window is closing, this could be their way of hitting the reset button. By acquiring a haul of young talent and draft capital, Buffalo could quickly rebuild around a new core and set themselves up for long-term success. Plus, if tensions between the stars and the organization are indeed as real as some insiders claim, then maybe it's better to make a bold move now rather than risk the situation deteriorating further. Of course, nothing is official yet, and both teams have remained tight-lipped about the specifics of any negotiations. But the very fact that such a trade is being seriously discussed has sent shockwaves throughout the NFL community. Fans are already fantasizing about what a Browns offense led by Josh Allen and featuring STEFON DIGGS would look like. Imagine Allen launching those deep bombs to Diggs in the frigid conditions of Cleveland Stadium, while Nick Chubb, if he stays, pounds defenses on the ground. On paper, that's a nightmare for opposing defenses and an absolute dream for Browns fans who've been starved for postseason success for decades. The ripple effects of a trade like this would extend far beyond just Cleveland and Buffalo. It would reshape the balance of power in both the AFC North and AFC East divisions. The Browns would instantly become favorites in their division, putting pressure on teams like the Ravens, Bengals, and Steelers to respond. Meanwhile, the Bills' sudden absence of their superstar duo would open the door for the Dolphins, Jets, and Patriots to seize control of the AFC East. And let's not forget about the broader playoff picture. Adding Allen and Diggs to the Browns could completely alter the trajectory of the entire AFC postseason race for years to come. Already, social media is ablaze with reactions from fans, analysts, and even players. Some are calling this the most shocking trade rumor they've ever heard, while others are speculating about how Allen and Diggs might fit into the Browns' existing system under head coach Kevin Stefanski. The memes are flying, the hot takes are everywhere, and the excitement is palpable. Everyone is waiting with bated breath to see whether this deal actually comes to fruition or if it will go down as just another wild rumor that got out of hand. But regardless of the outcome, one thing's for sure. This story has injected a massive dose of drama and intrigue into the NFL offseason. So what happens next? Will the Browns and Bills finalize the terms and make this mega deal official? Or will cooler heads prevail, with both sides deciding that the risks outweigh the potential rewards? Only time will tell. But in the meantime, fans can't stop talking about what this would mean for the future of both franchises. Could this be the move that finally leads Cleveland to its first Super Bowl appearance? Could Buffalo recover from such a stunning loss of talent? The stakes couldn't be higher, and the NFL world will be watching closely as this incredible story continues to unfold. Stay tuned, because if this deal goes through, it's gonna be one for the ages. Thanks for riding with us on another Browns Blitz. If you like the video, share it with a fellow fan, hit subscribe, and ring that bell so you're always part of the Dawg Pound conversation. Go Browns!